Hi people, welcome back to the channel. Today I have a little tutorial on how to change a Q-tip. I have this Q here that's totally bumped up. I don't know if you can see it here on the camera. The tip is not very well mounted here. The ferrule wool needs some shining, and the wood has been damaged a bit. The wood I can't do anything about today, but today I want to show you how to change the tip. To change the tip, you want to have a set of tools. What you need is a good knife. Very, very important to have a sharp blade on this knife. You need some tips, obviously. Today we'll use an Elk Master. Put that right here. You'll need some super glue. It's very good to use a super glue that's in gel form because it's just so much easier to work with. Other than that, you need some sandpaper. And I have this little thing here. I'll show you what that's for later. So first of all, a sharp blade. I'll switch the blade to show you that it's a brand new one that I'm using. This is very, very important because if it's not a brand new blade, you'll just end up pulling the tip and damaging the Q. So switch out the blade. Very important. Now I know that I haven't used the other side, which is a little hack. You can use both sides of the blade on a knife like this. So and yeah, I could have had a screwdriver to do this, but I don't. But this works perfectly fine for me. New blade on the knife. First job is to cut the tip away. Now what you need to do is here, you want to put the knife in just between the tip and the ferrule, and you want to cut with the sharp blade just halfway through. Turn the Q around and cut all the way. This way you'll make sure that the tip comes off nicely and you get as much of the glue as possible. So this glue all over this piece, so it's a bit messy. We've managed to get the tip off. Now what you want to do is use the sharp blade to get the rest of the glue off. The trick here is put the blade on across the ferrule and then cut the excess glue off. And don't be afraid to cut down in the ferrule, because as long as you have the blade across the ferrule like this and plain on the ferrule, it's impossible to cut down on the wood. So this is perfectly fine. Just be gentle. With a sharp blade, it'll work out just fine. And you'll really have to keep cutting maybe a bit longer than it seems, because this glue can really be hiding in plain sight right here. All right. Maybe, I don't know if you caught it on camera, but there's some glue on the ferrule as well. We'll work that away after we've mounted the tip. So the first trick I want to show you, if it's a damaged Q like this one, is to take some of this light sandpaper. Now I'm a bit OCD about this, so I've cut out different grinds to use. I'll take one of the lightest ones, hold it down like this, and just turn the Q around. Make sure you just press with one finger on the top of the Q and turn, because you then won't be grinding the ferrule away. I mean, making a convex curve on the ferrule. That will be a shame, because it will make it very, very hard to mount a tip perfectly ever again, basically. What you want to do is sandpaper the tip. You can use something that's just a bit, because this is bit more grind first, and then a soft one. Now you can put the tip on top here, just to check. And if you can see any air holes, I don't know if you can catch this on camera. This fits, I mean, this is totally tight on the ferrule, so this is, I'm happy with this. What I will do now is, I'll need the last piece of equipment, which I forgot to mention, which is the tape. This is very important because if you're not very good at mounting tips on, you're probably not. You're probably better off just putting some tape on here like this to avoid damaging the cue like the previous owner did. So up, and we have a secure workplace. Tape is on the cue. The tip is ready. We need some super glue. Just very slightly glue the ferrule. Not too much. When you're using the gel, it's a bit safer to use a bit too much glue because it won't run down the cue. Mount the tip. And when you're satisfied with the position, just hold it for 5 seconds. Press down a bit on it. Ta-da! And here comes the tool. Now I could just be holding this for a minute or 2 or 5 minutes. Not gonna bother. I'm just gonna use this. Make sure there's no sharp edges. Press down. And I'll just leave this hanging for 5 minutes. There we go. Alright, what you want to do now is the cue upside down, the sharp blade, remember that, very important. And then you cut down the sides. Now, luckily, this cue and the tip are not very different in size, so I don't have much to cut away. But there is some anyway. Now the trick here is to keep the blade of the knife parallel to the cue so you won't end up cutting into the ferrule. Now I have some extra insurance in the tape that I've used, which I will take away in a minute. Very good. Now we'll take the tape away. And we'll reuse that in a minute. Now I can just cut the last excess tip off, keeping the blade perfectly parallel so that I won't damage either cue or ferrule. So when shining up the ferrule, I like to put some tape on the wood so that I just make sure that I won't damage it. So just like before, but instead of putting it all the way up to the tip, I'm just putting the tape right down so it just covers the wood. Like this. Then I use strips of some very fine grind sandpaper. And from here, just put your thumb on here and pull it away from you. This will sandpaper both ferrule and tip and give a very good result. Besides from the damaged wood, which I am yet not capable of fixing, we've shined up the ferrule, we've changed the tip, we've shaped it, and now it's ready to play. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you can use this tip to, this tutorial to fix your own tips. Ask me any questions you have. Thanks for watching.